Dear students, in this video we have to discuss with another thread profile. That's name is square thread profile. What is the meaning of square threads? That means in a thread its crest and root are flattened. Surface of the crest and root are square in shape. Such type of thread is called square thread. Such type of thread is called square thread. Here the crest surface are flattened and the root surface are also flattened. Such a form is called square thread form. That means the square thread are widely used in the field of heavy lifting application, heavy load lifting application, heavy load lifting application. That means an example is screw jack. Screw jack. One of the examples of square thread is screw jack. Here, this figure shows an internal cross-sectional view of square thread. Internal cross-sectional view of square thread. That's all parameters are marked with capital letters. That means if our thread is internally, parameters are marked by capital letters. What are the main parameters? First, here the 90-degree surface, that means perpendicular distance between crest and root, is called depth of thread. That is marked with letter H. And its value is marked here. That is H is equal to E plus A. That is the formula to find out the value of H. And pitch is marked here. That is, pitch is the distance between two consecutive points, marked here with the letter P. And another one parameter is E. That is crest width. That value is also marked here. That value is 0.5 pitch. And there is another term marked with the letter R. That is also 0.5 pitch. Now, this is major diameter marked with the letter capital D and minor diameter with letter D1. In the case of internal square thread, bottom surface or root surface are rounded in shape, and crest part, edge of the crest part are beveled edge. What do you mean by beveled edge? Beveled edge. That means to remove the sharp corners, any sharp corners, we remove the sharp corners by beveling. This is called beveling. To avoid the sharp corners, we provide an inclined surface. Such type of construction is called beveling. What is the purpose of beveling? To remove the sharp edge. That means in the case of internal square thread, the outer sharp edge of the crest are beveled and root surface are rounded in shape. Okay, now what is the value of HER? We have to find out that value using in terms of pitch. Here I am taking the pitch values. Suppose it is 50. Now what is the height or depth of the thread? Height or depth of the thread? H is equal to, the formula to find out the value of H is E plus A. What is the E? E is the 0.5 pitch. That means first we have to find out E. That means 0.5 into pitch. Pitch is given, which is 50. Therefore 0.5 into 50, then 25 millimeter. Now we have to find out value of h using this formula E plus A. E is 25, then plus A. If you have to select A, two conditions are there. One is, if suppose P is less than 14 millimeter, we have to take A as 0.25. If P is greater than 14, then that time A should be 0.5 millimeter. So we have to select the second option. That means in our case P is 50, so P is greater than 40, then A is 0.5 millimeter. So we can replace the A with this value, that is 0.5. So 25.5 millimeter. Next one, R. What is the value of R? Value of R is equivalent to E. That is also 0.5 pitch. That is 25 millimeter. Now all the parameters are described here. What is the value of H? For find out the value of H, we use this formula E plus A. What is the value of E? E is equal to 0.5 into pitch. Now what is the value of R? R is equal also 0.5 pitch. A having two conditions. First condition is, then P is less than 40, A is 0.25. If P is greater than 40, then A is 0.5. So this is the data related to internal square thread. Now we have to understand what is the parameters and what is the shape of external square thread. Okay. Now this is the figure of external cross section of square thread. Here this is the uppermost part is called crest, and this is lowermost part is called root. Here what happened in the case of root? In the case of external thread, bottom or root surface are rounded in shape, whereas in the case of crest, its upper edge or sharp edge are removed using chamfering or beveling. To avoid the sharp edge, we have to provide a slanting surface. That slanting surface is called chamfering or beveling. That means crest edge are beveled at 45 degree. Here we use the parameter in small letters. That is, if the threads are in the case of external, we use the small letter to represent the parameter, whereas in the case of internal, we use the capital letter to represent its parameter. So this is D, that is, this is major die, and this is D1, that is minor die. Okay, now this is H1. H1 is the depth of the thread, single side depth of thread. That's value is given. H is given, that is E plus A. E, what is the value of E? In the case of internal thread, E is 0.5 pitch. So H1 is 0.5 pitch plus A. In the case of P is greater than 14, so A is 0.5. So our value of H1 is equal to 0.5 into pitch plus 0.5. That is 0.5 into 50 plus 0.5. That is 25.5 millimeter. That is our H1. Now what is the value of E? E is equal to 0.5 pitch. So it is also 25. And this is also around 25. So we have to say that it is in square section. So this is the speciality of external square thread. Now we have to draw how to draw that external or internal square thread using mini drafter. Now we have to move on next section. How to draw external square thread profile using our pitch value. Our pitch value is 50 mm. By using this pitch value, we have to find out other terms using this pitch value. That is E. For find out the value of E, we have to use a formula. That formula is 0.5 into pitch. That is 0.5 into 50. That is 25 mm. Next, depth of thread. That is marked with the letter H1. That is, this is the depth of thread, H1. We have a formula that's for find out H1, that is E plus A. E is here, that is 25 mm, and A, our pitch value is 50 mm, which is greater than 40. So we have selected A value is 0.5. So total H1 is equal to E plus A, 25 plus 0.5 is equal to 25.5 millimeter. That means this distance, this height is equal to, this depth is equal to 25.5 millimeter, and this distance is 25 millimeter. And there is another term R. That means at the bottom of the root there is a rounded surface. That rounded should be R. That's value is 0.5, which similar to same as E. That is 25 mm. So we have to complete this thread profile very easily using mini drafter. First you have to draw major dia, minor dia and all other vertical lines, finally joining the square shape using this mini drafter, and finally we mark the sectional lines keeping 45 degree and mark all the parameters associated with the external square threads. Okay.